Thank you so much for joining us today for the Pastor's Potluck Podcast. Here on the Pastor's Potluck, it's similar to a normal potluck where you might get something that you want and there may be something that you just want to pass up altogether. And that's okay. There's something here for everybody. Our goal here is to encourage you and maybe in the process entertain you. If you're ready, let's dig in. Welcome to another episode of the Pastor's Potluck Podcast. It is so good to see each and every single one of y'all. Even though we can't see you, you can see us if you are watching. Maybe you're listening. Well, it's so good to hear from you. Or maybe you're thinking of the same thing. It's another episode, and here we go.
This should be interesting.
Oh, Lord. So we were talking about bottled water before we got started with this podcast, and I don't care.
No, I do.
But apparently there's a lot of people that do.
Yes.
I prefer.
All water is not the same.
To me, it is.
No. Oh, my gosh, no. No. Mm-mm. Nope.
If I had my choice, I would prefer to drink spring water. Stuff that's straight from the earth goes into a bottle.
Some of that is fine, but some of it's not. What do you have? This is like
purified drinking water.
That's fine. Like Walmart,
it's the cheapest
Sam's,
of the cheapest.
That kind of water, I'm totally down with. I'm okay with this.
Because it's
purified also.
Yeah, it's triple filtered.
Yeah. But no, not all water is the same. It's just not.
So
like Deer Park,
spring water.
That's why it's gross.
Does it taste like you're licking a deer?
It tastes disgusting. I don't know what a deer tastes like.
See. Do you like Fiji water?
Yeah, that's good.
That's glacier water. They don't filter it.
That's
comes
good
straight
water,
from the
though.
earth.
But not all water is good. I'm telling you, there's not all water is good. When we were in New York, they had boxed water. They had water in like a box. I think maybe Will got one, and I asked him how it was. He was like, "Me." So it probably wasn't very good. Like Crumble has bottled water in aluminum cans, and I got one time, and once it gets hot, it's disgusting.
Yeah. So what they do with the aluminum cans?
Gross.
This is going to sound really interesting because I've watched a documentary on water one time. I'm a nerd. Okay, we just have to go with it. You know that something that I say is just going to make people scratch their heads. But yes, I watched a documentary on water. So with the aluminum cans, they can't just leave it in the can without any kind of protective coating. And so on the inside of it is like a thin, very, very, very thin layer of wax. And if it does get hot, then the wax, what does wax do whenever it gets hot? It melts. So
I'm drinking waxed water.
Yeah. The only reason like the canned waters are good, like because there's a company that gives away like canned water for like natural disaster situations like tornadoes and hurricanes. And Anheuser-Busch is actually the one that does it, or they're the ones that pioneered it, but they give it away. And, if you're thirsty, you're going to drink Deer Park water.
I'll do it, but I will protest.
So you would rather die?
No, I said I would drink it. I would just protest.
Yeah.
I would complain.
I wouldn't.
This is nasty.
If I had lost everything in a natural disaster.
I would rather fountain water. Like water straight out of the fountain than to drink Deer Park water. That's disgusting.
Even after like a whole bunch of kids have put their mouth on the spigot?
Absolutely. What do you mean? Oh my gosh, that's what we used to do growing up. Like drinking out of the water hose? Heck yeah, man.
No, I'm talking about like a water fountain at a school.
I would even drink out of that before I drink Deer Park water.
Think it's a tiny straw,
yeah.
So they put their mouth up against it.
Building my immune system.
Oh, what a brave soul you are.
I'm telling you, I'd rather do that than drink that nasty water.
But
all water is not the same.
There's actually a guy who's a water sommelier.
See, that would be a good job. Because then he would agree with me that not all water is the same.
Correct. But he leans more towards the spring and naturally fed water
Hmm.
sources as opposed to just
Some are not
getting it out
bad.
of the tap and filtering it.
Some are not bad. Some are bad.
Yeah. I think there's more medicinal benefits for drinking spring fed water.
I've drank water like straight out of the spring in Tennessee. It was delicious. It was super, super cold too.
Yeah. Like you were like swimming in it?
No, so my aunt and uncle live in it's in Anderson County, which is like right outside of Knoxville. And so they have like this really pretty like state park and stuff right there near their house. And they have a bunch of trails and things like that. And there's natural springs like right on some of those trails. And so you can just go out and fill your water bottle up with some of those natural springs. And so when we were in high school, we would always go and visit. And so me and my cousins had gone, like my uncle had a Jeep and we'd gone out one of the whatevers, and we just took our bottles with us and filled them up.
Oh, I was going to ask you how did you
Yeah.
drink it?
Yeah, we just drank them like we had cups or whatever in the car.
Yeah.
But and then some of them were just like drinking it like as it's coming down off the mountain. But it was
Oh.
delicious. I mean, it really was, and it was super super cold
Yeah.
coming out of it.
I was about to say, like, if you like just started drinking it after it was coming out of the mountain or whatever, or if you were lapping it up like a dog, you were probably going to be nixed from Gideon's army in
That
Judges.
is true.
Like you had to
That
bend
is
over on a
true.
knee and scoop it up and bring it up to your
We
mouth.
we had like bottles that we had already brought with us, and then we had like some of us just stood underneath it, and it was. I mean, I was surprised how cold it was. It was really really cold.
Yeah, I talked with Scott about this time. I went on a cruise and we went on one of the excursions was a whitewater rafting excursion that we did in Mexico or something like that, and we got to this point to where the water opened up, like it was like not rapids for a while. It was just this big kind of like little lake. I don't know. It was wide enough to where the water just like settled down for a bit, and the water was freezing because it was coming
Oh yeah,
out of the mountains and it was filtered by all this and it was
yeah.
crystal clear, like 20-25 feet down,
Mm-hmm.
and you could drink the water. Obviously you didn't because most of the time people
Right.
would get out of the boats and stuff. But I told him this story about how I found this orange rock, but it was a mango. Like I asked the guy if I could take off my life preserver, and I swam 25 feet down and got this mango and brought it up, and I ate the mango, and it was the best mango I've ever had in my
That's
life.
so crazy.
But it was in cold water. It was like in
Yeah,
50
it was
degree
like
water.
preserved.
Yeah, yeah. It was
Like that's
the
really
absolute
cool.
best thing.
It was probably delicious too.
Dude, it was best
Yeah.
mango, and you can't really find like good mangoes in the states.
No,
Like it's weird. Like you can occasionally, but
very rarely.
yeah. So that's the adventurous side of me. I like the natural stuff. Just put it in the bottle wherever it comes from. Now, obviously, I don't want it from like a bog or something, but
I don't. I don't.
spring water, I love it. I want. I don't. Are you laughing back there? but but like I want it fresh out of the earth. I like it like that. I mean, but purified. Like it's just not that big of a deal to me.
Well,
Now Erica drinks mineral water like a lot, like the bubbly, like the oh dang it, what's the
okay.
sell it in the glass bottles, the Topo Chicos and stuff
Oh
like
no,
that.
I
That's
don't.
mineral
Mm,
water and it's
mm-mm.
bubbly.
No,
Yeah,
no. I just want water. Like we don't have to like make it fancy. I just want water. Just
from the
want,
earth.
as long as it's not Deer Park.
Gotcha. Um, yeah, but that's like I guess it's like the adventurous side of like me and my personality. My personality. I want to do the stuff that is like kind of crazy and outlandish and stuff like that. And so, um, one of the things that I think I enjoy a lot, but I'm finding in my older age, my body doesn't care for it as much, is theme parks.
Oh yeah.
Like I love doing I want to go on the flippy rides. I like doing the ones where they pull you up and you're like in this thing and you have to pull the lever and it drops you and you swing. They actually have like this park in Texas where it's like they have these four posts and
Is
they
it like the slingshot thing? And it.
no
Mm.
So they hoist you up on this thing, and you have a harness on, but you pull it, and you do a
Oh, oh,
free fall
oh.
drop
I've seen
onto the big
those.
net.
Yes, I've seen
Like,
those.
I want to do that.
No, I don't want to do stuff like that.
I do.
I like roller coasters. I like that kind of stuff, but I don't like the free falling stuff.
I've I've
Like there's a thing
just
at
something about that is just so intriguing because you have zero control.
there's a oh, I don't know where it's at. It might be at Cedar Point or Kings Island, but there's one that like takes I know there's one at Universal and it's called Dr. Doom's whatever. But it like takes you up and then it drops you and then it takes you up again and it drops you and you just keep going up and down and dropping. That I
Are you in
used
a
to
seat though?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
It's like a four like I don't know, there's like four people on each side.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like those things growing up used to be totally fine, like didn't bother me, but the older I get, the more I'm like, I can't do that. Like I'm going to throw up. So, but I used to really love like the spinny rides. Like there's that like the rainbow thing that like you would that's what was called
Like
it.
the wall slides up.
Like yeah, and like you are stuck back and you're like
Yeah.
pulling your legs and it's spinning. I used to love those things. I did one a few years ago at oh gosh, it's been more than a few years ago. It's probably been let's see, Landon's 9, so I've been back here 9 years, 8 years, 8 years. So it was probably 9 years ago. We did one at Worlds of Fun, and we got off, and I was done, literally done the rest of the day. It made me so sick. I
Oh
could
yeah.
not do anything else. And they were like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No, I shouldn't have rode that. Like I should not have rode that. Like it was that bad. I mean, I had a headache. I thought I was gonna throw up. And normally that stuff never has bothered me before. But I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
that's fun. But I
Yeah,
loved
I
those things
I
growing
can't
up.
do the spinny stuff. Like I've
Makes me
seen
sick.
one that's like the big boat ride, right? So it swings back and
Yes.
forth, but it spins and it's going
Yes.
up and back and forth and down, and it's like can't do the spinny stuff. But like the more flips, the more
Yes, that
corkscrews.
doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I actually like growing up in San Antonio, we lived like 10 minutes away from Six Flags Fiesta Texas. And
Yeah.
so we would get the annual pass, and if I was in school or whatever, like we would go, and we had the parking pass too. So we would go and ride one ride and then come home
It'd be worth it. I would
because
do
we
it.
were 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
And it's not like Disney where it's just like hours and
Yeah.
hours of wait, especially like during like school times or like if you got there like first thing in the morning in the summertime, you could literally ride one or two rides before you even saw another person.
Yeah.
And so we would, so if we would get there like super early in the summertime and just ride the same ride until they were like, okay, you got to get off now.
And you're done.
Yeah, and then we were done for the day. We would also get like the cups or whatever, like the refillable
I
cups.
have one for Universal.
Yeah. And it was just it was like whenever you live like really, really, really
Yeah.
close, like it just makes sense to do that. Now,
Yeah.
my brother, he lived in Los Angeles, and him and his wife and their family, they had season passes to Disneyland, but it was like an hour, hour and a half away.
Yeah, because it's like out in
Yeah, yeah.
Anaheim.
And so it's like that's a
Yeah.
harder pill to swallow, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's Disney, but
I've never been to Disneyland. I would love to go to Disneyland.
it's great.
I've been to Disney World a few times, and then I have a friend that just this past January went to Disneyland Paris.
Really?
It was gorgeous. Well, and I think Samara went when she went, if I'm not mistaken. But my friend Jackie went, and I remember her posting pictures, and I was like, I'm so jealous right now. That is so
Yeah.
cool. So that would be really cool to see because everything's so different from like park to park. Even though it's like Disney, it's still different from park to park.
Yeah.
So
We did Disney World whenever I was younger, and then Erica and I did Disneyland whenever one year we went out and visited my brother whenever he was living out there. And there was obviously major differences, but I want to say that I enjoyed Disneyland more, even though it's like a way smaller park. Because I feel like they're buying up everything in Orlando.
oh yeah,
But we did every single ride in both parks in a single day.
that's crazy.
I'm telling you that my legs were dead for
Oh, I
the next
bet.
3 or 4 days.
I bet.
But we enjoyed it. It
Yeah.
was fantastic. Um, whenever you go with someone who knows like where like every
The
little thing
ins and
is,
outs.
yeah,
That's Sherry Hedrick. If you ever want a Disney connoisseur
yeah,
or Disney World, go with Sherry Hedrick. She'll tell you everything.
yeah.
She loves it.
So do you are so you are going to Universal
I am.
here at the end of
The second week of August.
yeah.
Yeah.
So is it one of those things to where you do like a lot of looking ahead and planning and you're like, okay, or are you just gonna
Uh,
go with it?
Both.
Okay.
Both. So, a couple years ago, I started taking my niece and nephew on birthday trips. So, um, last year, Olivia was all about, she loves Harry Potter. And I think you guys just did the
Yeah, yeah.
episode with Megan. So, you know that they are big Harry Potter fans. So, Olivia is a huge Harry Potter fan. And last year, she was like, Aunt Jessa, will you please take me to Harry Potter World? Because Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure in Florida has Harry Potter World. You have to hit both parks because it's two different sessions
Parks.
or whatever. Like,
Tickets.
so, yeah. So, like, Islands of Adventure has Diagon Alley.
Okay.
Or, I'm sorry, Islands of Adventure has Hogsmeade, and then Universal Studios has Diagon Alley. So, and then you can take the Hogwarts Express back and forth between the two parks if
Oh,
you
that's
get the
cool.
Park Hopper Pass. So, I went 2 summers ago, right before I started this job.
Okay.
That was kind of like my last, like, hey, I'm getting ready to start grad school. I'm getting ready to start full time ministry. Like, I'm gonna go spend. When I left my last job, I took 3 weeks to where I had like time to just kind of
Yeah, yeah.
be.
I
So
remember.
that last week, I went to visit my cousin who lives in Florida. We went to Universal and Islands of Adventure, and Olivia was so mad at me because I went and saw Harry Potter World. Like,
Yeah.
she was so mad at me. Her birthday that summer was a Harry Potter themed birthday, and
I
my
remember. Yeah.
cousin sent her one of like the Harry Potter robes and all the fun things. So, anyways, when I got back, she's like, Aunt Jessa, will you please take me to Harry Potter World? And I was like, Olivia, the biggest ride that you have like ridden is like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at Disney World. And if you've ever been to Disney World, that is like the like simplest like it's
Yeah.
not, I mean, it's a thrill ride I guess for Disney, but it's not a thrill ride on a larger scale park. And
Yeah.
so I told her, I said, Olivia, I'm not paying to take you to Universal Studios if you can't ride big rides. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
these aren't just like little Disney rides. Like, those tickets are expensive and I'm not going to take you until you can ride big rides. So they went in November to Disney and did the big, like, all the parks or whatever. And she rode Space Mountain, she rode Everest, she rode all the big roller coasters that she didn't ride before.
Yeah.
And she loved them, like, absolutely loved them. And so when she came back, she's like, Aunt Jessa, guess what? We get to go to Universal. And I was like, why? She said, I rode all the big rides. And she did. She absolutely loved it. So we leave in August. We are going. It's me and Megan and Olivia and then 3 of our friends. So the 6 of us are going, and we're going to Universal and Islands of Adventure. We got the Park Hopper Pass. And so we're staying on Universal property.
Oh,
And
cool.
because we're staying on Universal property, we get into the parks an hour early. So
Ooh,
it
that's nice.
makes it very nice. So we're actually like using a travel agent. We used Leslie's sister to help us. And so like Betsy's helped us and given us all like the ins and outs of everything. But like we get in the parks an hour before they even open,
Yeah.
which is really nice. And so I have been doing some research
Oh, yeah.
because I mean, Disney, they do rope drop and you still, like, you get in early, but you still have to wait.
Yeah.
And
You're only
so,
like a
yeah,
couple hundred steps before
yes.
everybody else. It's weird.
So it's not a rope drop. Like, you actually get in and can ride rides and do everything before the park even opens,
Yeah.
which is nice. And so that's only because we're staying on property. So we are going to go straight to Harry Potter World. I'm letting Olivia pick which she wants to go to first. I think she said she wants to go to Islands of Adventure first. That is where, so Islands of Adventure has Hogsmeade, which is where Hogwarts is. So there's a ride in Hogwarts. If you've ever seen the movies, they play Quidditch on the brooms. And so that ride in
Oh,
that
that's
is
cool.
kind of like it's one of those 4D rides, and like you're in. So Olivia knows a little bit about the rides, but I haven't like fully told her because I'm afraid she's gonna be like, "Oh my goodness!"
Yeah.
But that ride, I will say, the Harry Potter rides, 3 of the Harry Potter rides are probably some of the best rides I've ever been on, ever.
Really?
Those 3, and then there's a roller coaster there in Universal or at Islands of Adventure called the Velocicoaster.
Yeah, they just opened that one
Oh
up, right?
my gosh. I rode that 2 years ago. I'm a big girl, okay? I'm a big girl. My butt came up out of that seat. Like at one point in time, my head was like facing the water. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was very thankful that I had to take my glasses off. So I was very thankful that I couldn't fully see what I was like getting
Yeah.
myself into. But my butt came up out of the seat. I mean, those were huge flips and corkscrews. It was awesome.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the newest ones that they just put
Yes.
out there, and I keep on seeing
Oh
advertisements
my
for it
gosh, it was amazing.
everywhere.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
But they have so in Hogsmeade they have the Quidditch one. They have Hagrid's motorbike, which is so cool. That is like one of the best rides I've ever been on. And then they have Flight of the Hippogriff, which is like a little kid kind of roller
Like
coaster.
easy
Yeah.
going.
So it's super simple. It's fun. I mean, Olivia will like it. But so we have those 3 there, and then we'll ride the Hogwarts Express over. And then there's one ride in Diagon Alley, and that is Escape from Gringotts, which is another like 4D type experience.
Yeah.
You actually like can go in, and even the queues there are really cool. Like because it's kind of like Disney, like everything's kind of themed.
Yeah, it's
But like
interactive. Like there's
yeah.
so much stuff to take
So
in.
Gringotts is the
It's
bank in
not like
Harry
Six
Potter.
Flags. Like you
No, no,
just
no, no,
stand
no, no, no.
outside and they're like, here's a
No.
rock to look at.
So Gringotts is the bank in Harry Potter, and so like when you first walk in, you're walking through what looks like the bank,
Yeah,
and you've
yeah.
got your little uh, bank tellers that are standing there, and they
The
are
little
all
trolls and
animatronic, and
goblins.
they
Yeah.
are like moving and looking at you, and it's really kind of creepy. And then so Escape from Gringotts is taking place in like the further part of the movies, like the last part of the movies, and so they go down into the vaults, and so you're basically on one of those vault carts,
Yeah, yeah.
and then the dragon comes and
That's
all these,
cool.
and so it's really really cool, and it's a 40, so you have to wear the glasses on that one, but it was really neat because I don't know, I just wasn't I don't think I was expecting it.
Yeah.
So but that one's a lot of fun, but that's the only ride there. So Harry Potter World only has 4 rides, I guess 5 if you count the Hogwarts Express. So we'll do that first. That's my goal, is to
Yeah.
kind of get those 5 things out of the
Well,
way.
that's like their big ticket item.
Yes, yes.
So everybody wants to go and do those things. They want to get the butterscotch beer.
Oh,
They
it's
wanna-
so good.
I know
So good.
It's insane.
The
They wanna
frozen
do-
butterbeer is way better than the like just regular butterbeer. It's so good.
and they want to go get the wand, and they want to do all the stuff that's Harry
Yes.
Potter, and so it's like all day every day. Like that place is just going to be loaded, and especially since like they are redoing they're doing a television
Yes.
series for HBO for Harry Potter, so it's like it's only going to pick up steam.
Well, and
I
it's
think.
just going to get worse too, because I just saw an article that said that like Universal is getting ready to expand. So they're actually getting ready to come up with another portion that will also attach to Harry Potter World. So there will be a 3rd section of Harry Potter World, and it'll be the Ministry of Magic.
Oh, that's cool.
And then there's like 4 or 5 other lands that they're bringing in. And it's supposed to be, it'll make Universal the biggest, I think it said the biggest park in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Like,
What?
because of how much, I want to say it said it'll be like the biggest land occupying park in Florida because like how much they're expanding. They're going to have boardwalks for that kind of stuff. They're supposed to be coming up with like a Harry Potter themed resort or something like that. Like, so
that's
there's
kinda
supposed to be
weird.
all kinds of stuff that's coming with this new like phase.
Yeah.
But like Universal in California just opened Mario World. So I don't
Yeah,
know if
that's
they're
been
gonna
like
bring that to
pandemonium.
like
They should because
Florida
look,
because that would be awesome.
the movie just did like so much
Yeah.
stinking money. They did over $1 billion.
Yeah. I would also love for them to bring to Universal in Florida the Walking Dead stuff. So they have a whole Walking Dead thing in Universal in
Do you watch that show?
oh, I loved it.
I quit watching
Loved
it
it.
after they killed Glenn.
Oh. But Negan's my favorite. I
Yeah,
love Negan. We're actually
they're doing a spinoff.
we just started the spinoff. We're on the first episode and surprisingly it's actually not bad so far. So it's him and Maggie and they're in New York and Maggie's son has been captured. And so that's where we're at. We don't know
I didn't
anything
even know
else.
that she had a
So,
son.
yes, it's Glenn's baby.
Oh well.
So he looks just like him.
I just got tired. It's the same old routine.
Yeah.
It's
There were
like,
a couple
hey,
of
we
seasons.
found this really cool place.
There were a
and this
couple
is gonna
seasons
be-
that got really, really bad, but these last 2 seasons have kind of made it
Yeah.
like what it was. I felt like it kind of made it like what it was at the beginning. So when they came in with like the Whisperers, and then this last group that they came in, like when it actually ended, it finally got back to a place where it was like this is actually better. But I would love for them to bring that to Florida as well. I think that would be really cool.
But what would you do? Like what kind of attractions?
I
would
think
you-
it's just like a bunch of different they have like a haunted house kind of thing where you have to like go through and you've got the walkers and I would be scared out of my mind, but I would totally do it.
I just don't know.
They have a whole
Because
thing
you can't
of
do
it.
a roller coaster because there's nothing
No.
speedy.
You could do 4D stuff like
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know.
Now, one of the things that I like really enjoyed, like the times that I've been to Disney, was just like the super chill, like peaceful rides, like Pirates of the Caribbean, It's a Small World,
I do like pirates.
like
That's a
all
good
those
one.
things. Like for me, because I look at like whenever these parks are created, and like some of this stuff was like way above its time
Oh yeah.
in terms of like practical effects and special effects.
Well, especially Disney stuff. I mean, like, people can say what they say, what they want about Disney, but like Walt Disney, I mean, he really was such a creative person.
Yeah.
And to just see like the things that he just imagined up.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, like, what would he think now to see like all of these things that have just continued to grow? And I mean, I don't know. It's just cool. Like some of that stuff is just neat.
Oh yeah.
Like down to hidden Mickeys in a park.
Yeah.
Like you can find hidden Mickeys everywhere in both parks, like in all the parks. But like,
yeah.
it's just random. Like who would have thought of that? Like I would never have thought of that.
No.
You know
and
what I mean?
It's the way that they hide them
Yes.
too, which is like super unique. Now, are you like a food connoisseur whenever you go to these parks?
Oh,
Is there certain things that you're like, okay, I've got to get this again because I've been?
yes.
So obviously the frozen.
So the
butterbeer.
frozen butterbeer is a yes. So actually, when we went to New York, we went to purposely. I was like, that was the one thing that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So really, the one thing that like sightseeing thing that I wanted to do when we went to New York, I wanted to go to the Harry Potter store that opened up down in the Iron, down near the Iron building, the Flatiron. And so that was the one thing I wanted to do. And so Cheryl and we went in and we were like, this is the coolest thing ever. Well, then when we walked to the back, they have a whole butterbeer section back there.
Yeah.
And they actually are making it on the tap back there. So we the two of us and then one of the little ones, one of the teenagers that he's not little, I guess he's 12. But one of the teenagers that went with us, we all went back and got the butterbeer and did all that. And but I asked when we were there, I was like, "Do you guys have the frozen butterbeer?" And the lady was like, "No." And I'm like, I was so sad.
Yeah.
I said, "It's okay. I'll get it in August." Like,
Yeah.
it's okay. But that is definitely my favorite. It's just like a slushie. It's real good.
I like.
So I'll get that for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think I prefer to drink. Like I like that butterscotch stuff. I think it's great. But for me, it's like too heavy. If I'm gonna be walking around all day,
See, it's
Like-
not like I think that's why I like the frozen one because it just tastes like an icy. Like it doesn't taste like you're drinking like a big heavy like drink
Yeah.
something like that because I don't think I'd be able to drink it heavy like that. So, because I
Yeah.
agree with that. Yes.
Walking around all day.
Yeah.
But I am a sucker for classic, like, fair foods
Yeah.
or park food. Like, I love a good roasted turkey leg. I can eat those
You
all
know,
day
I've
long.
never had one of those at a park.
What?
Never had one of. I'm afraid I would. It'd be wasteful
It's
because
a
I wouldn't
lot.
eat the whole
It's a
thing.
lot.
They look delicious, but I don't. I don't want to waste it. You know what I mean?
Or, um, this is going to sound really weird, but if they have corn on the cob, I'm eating the corn on the
It's
cob.
probably really good too.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't understand, but it's really good. We ate. So I already told Olivia, like one of the places that we'll eat when we go is called the Leaky Cauldron, which is from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But it's like, I had shepherd's pie. It was so good. I don't necessarily think that I mean, I've had shepherd's pie before, but it did not taste like that.
Yeah.
So I've already made up my mind. Like when we go, I will be getting the shepherd's pie. Like
Now,
that
is it made with beef or is it made with lamb?
it. Ooh, I don't know what it had in it. I don't remember, but it was delicious. I can tell you that much.
Find
it was.
out and tell me
I will.
because I'll be.
I will.
I want to see. I want to know your reaction
I will.
because I know that.
I just ordered. Like I
Yeah.
just ordered. If I don't know what's in it, then I'll more than likely eat it. If you tell me what's in it, I'm be like, not happening. So funny story about that. Sidetrack here. So one of my really good friends from Kansas City, her family's from India, and so she got married. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and so I went to Kansas City for the wedding, which is if you've ever been to an Indian wedding, like they go all out.
It's over the top.
Over the top. So they have all these different like things leading up to the wedding. So you don't just have the wedding. Like you have this, I can't remember what the one thing is called, but they come in, they put turmeric all over them. It's like a blessing ceremony, and they put turmeric all over them, and they present the males with fruit and the females with like jewelry and things like that. So they do that, which I didn't get to go to that because I was traveling that day. But then they do a Mindi and a Sangeet, and so normally those two are separate things, but this one wasn't, so they combined it. And normally it's like the henna party for the girls, and then there's like it would be similar to what is our like a rehearsal dinner, but it's not a rehearsal dinner. It's a full out like pre-reception is what it is.
It is a party,
and it is a party. So we were there for this, and we are we've got our henna on our arms and all these fun things. And so it's time to eat. And so we go up to eat, and nothing is labeled on the table, which is probably for the best because, I'm picky. But so nothing's labeled on the table. And I go up and I pick up what I think is chicken. And I go to put it on my plate. And there's this little Indian lady in front of me and another lady beside her. And she's like, "What is this?" And she's like, "Goat." And I went, oh my gosh. And I literally put it back down and I walked away. I was like, "Oh, no, I can't do it." But I was so mad because I was like, had she not said it, I would have eaten it and I wouldn't have had any clue. I would have had no idea. And I probably would have liked it. But as soon as I heard her say goat, I was like, I'm done. Can't do it.
At least try it.
I couldn't do it. After I knew that that's what it was, I could not do it. I was so mad at myself, too, because I was like, girl, you were 2 seconds away from eating it. I put it right back down. I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
I've had goat. It's actually really good.
It probably was really good, but that's what, it gets in my brain, and then I'm just like, no, can't do it.
You got to overcome those
things. I can't
things.
do it. So
through the power of Jesus,
I
I believe that you can.
So
because if
I ate the shepherd's
good,
pie
then
and it was delicious.
Gonna be delicious.
Well, as long as I didn't know what was in the shepherd's pie, I would eat it again.
Even if it's lamb?
Yeah, even if it's lamb. I'll eat it again because I already know that it's good. I already know that it's good, though.
Yeah.
So, but I also really love funnel cakes at like amusement parks and things.
Oh, dude, the absolute
funnel
best.
cakes are the best.
I've tried making them at the house, and
They're
just
not
doesn't.
the same.
No, there's something different.
No,
and each one is a little bit different, but it's the same, you know. And oh man, that's probably like the best thing to eat. You feel like garbage afterwards. Because it comes out on a big giant frisbee plate.
At Disney, my favorite thing to get is the pretzel. I love the Disney pretzels. They are so good.
I've never had a pretzel.
They look like Mickey Mouse, but they are
I just don't want to spend
really
like
$12,
$15.
They're really good. I love the Disney
pretzels.
I love them.
But yeah, I try to stick with water. Try to find a turkey leg.
I
It's just
see.
everything's so stinking expensive
They
too.
are. So,
Goodness.
well, the good thing is that like when I went 2 years ago, you could buy a refillable cup and it's good for like whenever because it just has this little chip in the bottom of it. And
Yeah.
I just pay like the refill fee. So I've kept it for 2 years.
Yeah.
So I told Olivia, I said, guess what's going with us? Like we've got our refillable cup. Because once you pay for it to be refilled, like I can get it refilled every like 20 minutes or something like that.
That's pretty awesome.
So yeah. And I mean, it's cheaper than having to like buy drinks the whole day in a park.
Should see if they could put your shepherd's pie in your cup
Can
for
you
free.
put this to go, please? That would be great. Could you put my butterbeer in that, and I just
Yeah.
get refills of that all day long?
Dude,
I'd be
that's
done. It
dangerous.
would be. My sugar would be out of control.
Yep. Yep.
Out of control.
You gotta make
But
sure somebody's got the
yeah,
got a
I'm
good
gonna
injection ready.
need some medication. Thank you. Can we just wash all that out of my body? That'd be
Dude.
great. Sure, my doctor would love that. Be
Yeah.
like, Jessica, why is your sugar so high? It's been so great.
Yeah, it's one
What
of
is
the
it?
things
Universal.
like I love theme parks, but I think the thing that gets me so much, and I'm notorious a cheapskate. I don't like to spend money. I don't. I like to save it because I know that I've got 3 kids I got to put through college. Um, um, I I don't even I don't know. I don't want
Yeah.
to spend money, but obviously, like whenever you go on vacation, do these things, you have to. But it drives me nuts whenever you walk through. We went to Six Flags, Fiesta, Texas, and you got to think like these are like the worst of the worst parks. There's Six Flags.
Oh, see, I liked Six Flags when we went. We went to the one in it was in New York, upstate somewhere, back in like '99, and there was like I liked it.
Well,
I thought
see,
it was fun.
that was like maybe the height of Six Flags because that's whenever they
Yeah,
had that old guy that did like the commercials.
I
Dun, dun,
only
dun, dun, dun,
I only
dun,
remember
dun,
one
dun, dun, dun,
ride,
dun,
but I remember
dun,
we had
dun.
a good time. But I remember one ride that was like awesome, and it was called the Superman, and it was so fun. It was
Dude.
so fun.
Well,
Loved it.
anyways, but we're eating at Six Flags one day. We got the whole family, and we did like a barbecue place, just barbecue chicken, whatever. If you want a brisket sandwich or pulled pork sandwich or whatever, and it was like $130
Yeah, I believe it.
for 5 of us.
Yeah.
I've never spent $130
So
on one meal, even just for me and Erica.
okay, so this past time when we went so we go to CPC, which is the Children's Pastors Conference in
Yeah.
January, and it's at Disney. So we stayed on Disney property this past year, and we did everything, and we got to go to. I had a friend that works for Disney, and so he got us in one day to where did he get us into? Hollywood Studios, and then we all just bought our tickets on that Friday to go to Disney World for the whole day. And Sherry was like, we should really just go to like Be Our Guest, which is the Beauty and the Beast restaurant at Disney World. And so we were like, yes, that'll be so much fun. I about had a heart attack because just for me, my bill was over $100.
What?
Yes, it is like like I thought I was going to have a heart attack. So it comes with, and I'm picky anyways. So like the stuff that I had to choose from was not even, it's not even stuff I would have eaten any other time. But I'm like, well, you're going to have to find something. But you got like this 3-course meal or whatever, and you got your appetizer, which I got some kind of, I don't even know what it was, honestly. It was like some kind of potato and onion soup. It was good, but I mean, it's not something I would just
Not $20
no.
worth.
And then I think I got a steak for my like main thing. And then you get like a plate of like 3 or 4 different desserts, but they're itty bitty tiny. Like you got a bonbon,
Yeah, it's like a bite.
and all these little things. Now my favorite. Now I will say though, we had an awesome waiter, and my favorite was the gray stuff. Which, if you've seen Beauty and the Beast, he says try the gray stuff. It's delicious.
Yeah.
And so they actually have gray stuff that you can eat, and it really was delicious. And I ate all of it. I did not like any of the other things on my plate, but I ate the gray stuff. And I had, I'm celebrating my graduation pin on, and he brought me a whole plate of gray stuff, and I downed it.
Oh,
He just
yeah.
brought it to me. So I was very thankful.
Was it sweet or savory?
It's almost like a, it's sweet, but it's not like super super sweet. It's not
Yeah.
too much. But I don't know. It's just good. I don't know. I really don't even know what it
What
is.
did
It's
it taste like?
almost like a pudding, but not like super runny like a pudding.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't. But it was delicious.
Okay. Well, let's narrow this down. Did it taste like fruit?
No, it was like
Okay.
sugar. It was like whipped cream sugar. It was amazing. It's delicious.
That doesn't sound
It
delicious.
was good. I don't know what they put in it,
Sounds
but it
like
was
whipped
good.
cream.
No, I don't know what it was, but it was the gray stuff. It was
I'd have
delicious.
been mad though.
Don't
Somebody.
believe me? Ask the dishes.
Oh goodness.
It was
Yeah,
good.
I'd have been in a fighting mood
I
too.
about died when my
Somebody
bill
bring up.
came out. I
I
was like,
look.
I can't breathe.
I'm a dollar value. I'm a coupon using son
Yeah.
of a gun, and $100 for one person
Oh, about had a heart attack.
makes me have heart
Yeah.
palpitations right now.
Yes.
Like that is. I'd have told whoever invited me. I'm saying,
I
look,
can say I've done it, but I don't ever want to do it again.
I would rather say that I've never done it and had $100 still in my pocket. That's the type of person I
I
am.
was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this.
That's insane.
It's-
Erica hates me for it too. Like she's like, if she could change something, I know it would be like just how cheap
Yeah.
I am. And look, I'm just a typical dad. I like if I could save money, if I could use a coupon, maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't want to spend money. I work too hard to make it, so I just don't want it to go off into the wind.
Well, I'm excited. We leave in like 20 some days, and I'm excited, but I also know that like it's going to be I mean, I know it's going to be expensive, so like I'm preparing myself for that, and I've made whatever it is that I need to do. But
Preparations
preparation, that's the word.
financially.
Yes.
Saving here, a
But
little bit here, a little bit there.
what'll be good is that like Olivia already has some of the big things that are to offer there. So like she already has a robe. Like my cousin bought her a robe
Yeah.
when we went last time, so she doesn't need that. And she already has a wand. She got a wand for Christmas.
Yeah.
So she doesn't need that. And so like she's got some of those things that like are big ticket items when you go there already
Yeah.
that she won't need. And then I am a little bit extra. And so I have purchased like little things that are like that'll be fun for her. Like I've bought earrings, so she has Harry Potter earrings, and I've bought these little like zipper pouches that say "Happy Birthday, Harry" on them.
You should get her some replica glasses to wear.
So she's got that. She's got a little Hedwig owl that my mom is gonna like sew some what is that stuff called?
Stuff.
Elastic on so that she can wear it on her arm while we're there.
Okay, like a little
Yeah. So there's little things like that like we already have that she won't need. Like yesterday, I went to Five Below and they have all kinds of Harry Potter candy because there's a whole Harry Potter candy store there called Honeydukes. And so like
Expensive.
Yeah, those like chocolate frogs, they're huge. They're these huge chocolate frogs. I think they're like $20. It's crazy.
No, I'm not eating
So
chocolate frogs.
yeah, so I got it the last time we were there, and I was like, yeah, I'm not buying that again. Because if you bought so
Yeah.
many, you got like I think I got them discounted, but
As
I
much
bought 3
as,
last time.
as much as I love theme parks and us talking about like
Yeah.
the amount of money that you spend, like I don't know that I ever want to go to one ever again.
But it's so fun. I love.
I'm such a lame dad.
I just love I don't necessarily go for anything other than the rides. Like I just love to ride rides.
Yeah.
I do. And like I said, the older I get, the harder some of those rides are for me because they make me want to vomit. But
Dude, I went on this one that was called the Rattler.
oh,
It shook you apart. You fell apart whenever
that's
you
like
rode this
the
thing.
Beast
It
at Kings Island.
it rattled you. Like I felt my brain like sloshing around in my head. Like it's really weird. Like you get out, like your
No.
like your ears are ringing. Like you
Was
felt
it
like
a
you,
wooden roller coaster?
yeah, felt like you got punched in the nose, and I don't know everything about
Yep.
that thing. It was like it shook you. Like it's like a big giant person grabbed you and just
We
just shook you. And it was just like you were just like, what just happened?
The first time we went to New York, we had 2 free days, and we went to Coney Island and rode the Cyclone, which is like one of the world's oldest wooden roller coasters.
Yeah.
And that's the way we felt when we got off of it. We were like, "What?
Yeah, you ride it for
just
the nostalgia, but
happened?"
nothing like
My
nothing
whole
else.
body hurt when we got off. There was also one there, and I don't have a clue what it was called, but it was probably one of the craziest roller coasters I've ever been on because when you like take off, you literally go straight up. I mean, you are laying on your back, and then there's this little tiny hump at the top, and you drop straight down. And then, of course, it goes into like all the like corkscrews and flips and things like that.
Yeah.
But just the going up, I mean, it's like an arch that you go up and back down.
Yeah.
And it was pretty crazy. But that was fun just being able to do, like, we've done roller coasters at Coney Island. We've done, like I said, I lived in Kansas City for a while. And so we had Worlds of Fun that was right there by us. We would go there all the time. We did, sometimes we would do the Fright Nights, like during Halloween, we would go and you could still ride rides, but then after like a certain time, like the rides are still open, but then like they have all the haunted houses and things.
Yeah.
So we would go and do that. But being able to be like that close to that was really fun because we got to do that quite a bit, and I got to take kids there sometimes. We've been to Kings Island, Cedar Point, Six Flags, went to Busch Gardens back in the day.
Are those even still around?
Busch Gardens, yeah, there's one in Virginia. And then of course, like I said, Universal Islands of Adventure, Disney. I've done all the Disney parks in Florida. And so I don't know, they're just fun. I just love riding roller coasters and those types of things. It's just
I'll
fun
probably
for me.
go back, but I'll just be really upset having to spend all the money. But I do enjoy seeing like kids and Erica and just having those moments with like the fam and just everybody having fun. And I'm sure that like whenever y'all go on your trip, it's gonna be the same.
Yeah.
Going with because
it's exciting.
It's
to
gonna
see
be awesome
things.
to see like Megan and Olivia because
Yes.
they've never been there before.
They've not been there. They're both huge fans, but I think it's also fun to see those things through other people's eyes, like to see
You take
to see
other people's
Olivia,
eyes and see
like
through
to
them?
see Olivia be so excited about that, like,
Yeah.
and I've already experienced it, but then to get to experience it with her is just different.
Dude, you got to take a video of like whenever y'all do like the crazy, like the first crazy roller coaster of the day. I want to see her expression.
She's like, she told me, she said, "Now, Aunt Jessa, I might cry on those rides. Is that okay?" And I said, "Yes, honey, it's okay if you cry, but you are going to ride them."
Yeah.
Aunt Jessa's not paying for you to go and sit. And not happening. So you will be riding. So, but
All
it's fun. It'll be fun.
Mystery meat time. What's your go-to excuse to get out of plans? Come on, give it to us.
My go-to excuse to get out of plans.
You've got something.
Oh my gosh.
You've got something.
Why are these? I always get the most random, weird things.
That's it, the whole jar is full of random,
I feel like
weird
mine are
things.
just the worst.
We've been doing this for 98 episodes, I think, is whenever this one comes out.
That's crazy.
There has been 98 questions of nothing but weird and
random.
random.
I'm telling you, all of mine are. I remember I had one like, is cereal a soup? That was one of mine.
I think you bring this up every single time.
I know, because I don't like this. My go-to excuse to get out of things. Golly, probably I just say something came up. I think is what I just probably do. I would say it's probably just like, hey, if something came up, I'm not gonna be able to make it.
You want to know what I do? If someone invites me to do something,
I think it depends on the situation too.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But for my go-to excuse is if they say, "Hey, man, we got this thing going on. We want you to come over." I'll look at them. I'll put a smile on my face, and I say, "I don't want to do that," and then I don't show up.
Like there have been times. This is gonna sound awful. This is gonna sound so bad. But there have been times, and it depends on the people. It depends on the person. But there have been times where people will be like texting me, and they'll be like, "Hey, want to go to dinner?" And I'll see it, but I won't like open the text. And then if I don't open it, then I didn't see it. So then, like later,
Dude,
I'll be like,
"No, you've got a mark on your phone that things are
no.
not read or received."
I do have the read receipts on, but what I'm saying is like,
not me.
I'll see that I have the text, but I won't open the text. Like they'll say, "Hey, do you want to?" And I'll see that I have it, but I won't open it. So like I can see that the person texting me and is asking me something, but I don't fully open it so it doesn't send them. And then I'll just be like, hey, sorry, just saw this. That doesn't happen all the time. That's just if it's certain people.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just don't want to do things.
Yeah, I just tell them to their face, this is not for me.
Sometimes they just don't want to.
But anyways, thank you for being on today. I hope that y'all do enjoy your trip. I hope that Olivia has a great birthday celebration, and that hopefully that they refill your cup with all the frozen butterbeer your heart can handle.
Can't wait.
So thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Pastor's Potluck. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening in with us today. We really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram. You can also watch the video version of this on YouTube as well. All you have to do is search up the Pastor's Potluck Podcast. From all of us here, we want to say thank you, and we'll see you next week.